Welcome to the TechView.com. When I think of the World Wide Web, one of the things I think about is interactivity. I also think of theater as being a very interactive space, or at least it can be. Helen Wheelock is an educational theater professional. Listen to what she has to say about the intersection of technology and theater. Since January of 2007, you have been the program director of the Early Learning Through the Arts program at the Creative Arts team. Describe for our viewers your program's goal and overall educational philosophy.
We're, as a company as a whole, we use theater, or drama, I think probably is more translatable to, we use drama as a teaching tool. We go into the classroom and engage students in an interactive story, drama, and then a problem will arise throughout a 4-day or 5-day residency that the students themselves are asked to address, deal with, solve, figure out what to do with a character who's causing trouble. So I specialize in working with the early ages. We're talking 2.9 because that's Head Start age, all the way up to 2nd grade, 3rd grade. So we do issue-based like conflict resolution, inclusion and exclusion. We also do a lot of work around early childhood literacy.
You mentioned Head Start. For those of us who aren't familiar with that federal program?
It is a federal program. We'll see how long it is a federal program. But it's the idea that certain children at an economic level are underserved, not only financially but socially. And a Head Start center is in an area, and the students attend for free and have learned social skills in terms of they're not served breakfast, they actually set the table and serve the other students. And then they have educators who are not Department of Ed or Board of Ed certified teachers who work with them throughout the day.
So are you in specific neighborhoods?
We have the history of the Creative Arts team, which is now almost 35 years old, 35 starting the 31st of October, is at-risk students in New York City. I think all of us understand that at-risk is a very wide breadth. We have served underserviced areas. I don't know what you want to define that as, but across the 5 boroughs. I've worked across the 5 boroughs in my 15 years.
Theater and education generally includes all the interactive theater practices that help aid the educational process. Some of these processes, as you know, include developing original scripts, using the performance of a play as a springboard for interacting with an audience and discussing important topics or themes. How has the Internet, with all of its interactivity, transformed your work?
It's interesting. I'd say about 6 years ago, we did a program with Wolf Trap, which is an organization down in Virginia. And we teamed up with them and teaching artists in Memphis and, D.C. to look at how to integrate the arts, we're talking music, movement, and dance, in the early childhood classroom. And the goal was to train teachers and to use the Internet as a teaching platform. Now that's 6 years ago. 6 years ago, we ran into a lot of problems. Some of it was economic, where some of our teachers did not have computers. Or if they did have computers, it was dial-up. And bless dial-up, we were trying to be quite ambitious using message boards, using emails, writing stuff online, doing surveys online. And there was a strong digital divide. We also discovered that, at least for early childhood, and I actually know it's for myself too, we don't use the Internet for early childhood work because it's not as topic specific per se as, say, I'm a high school teacher and I want to do something really interesting, exciting around the Boston Massacre. So I'm going to go online and I'm going to Google it and I'm going to research it because that's going to give me material that I can translate into something interactive that high school students can engage in, and boom. Now, that is 6 years ago. Now, it's more getting the word out, not necessarily educating people on it, because we're still translating it to the Internet. People have said, well, you train teachers, why don't you just send them a DVD? I honestly believe sending somebody a DVD is an advertising tool, not a training tool, because the very nature of our work is in-person, physical, interactive. Now, what we've begun to do is to videotape and do what some of the best teaching colleges do, which is videotape the work, talk about what you led as a brand new teacher trying to do a drama activity in the classroom, and then look at the tape and say, what do we see? Because sometimes our perception of what we were doing is different than what we actually see. But I still find people have that, oh, I'm on TV, ew, I'm awkward thing. So that's challenging. I've also used it most recently to interview teachers after they've led something. So in our training, we will model a piece that we're going to do. We'll train you into doing it. Then we'll go into the classroom and show you what it would look like doing it, and then you'll do it in the classroom. So we're trying to build your own capacity. And then we'll interview you or debrief with you afterwards. And recently I've taken out what I said is a little flip camera that you YouTube video. So it's very inobtrusive and very easy, and said, all right, do you mind if I videotape you? And I said, so tell me what the challenges were. So we're capturing that feedback, and we're no longer the filter to say, this teacher at this site said, and somebody might read it and go, yeah, that sounds too good to be true. But having the teachers just come off an experience and being able to capture that moment in a short moment has been very, very useful.
You mentioned that you are not using the internet educating your level of students with a 2.9 to
first grade, second grade.
First grade, second grade. But as a teacher, do you find yourself using it as a tool to prepare yourself?
I did. We developed a curriculum in particular because we often respond to what we see in the classroom, or ask the teachers saying, what's going on, what are the issues that your kids are addressing or dealing with, or that you're dealing with, beyond classroom management. And there was a lot of talk the last couple of years about bullying. Now it's a big, huge hot topic at the older ages, huge. Lots of money going into it, lots of questions whether or not it's effective. And our particular company actually has been brought in to address, and I would say successfully, this topic at the older ages. In the earlier ages, one of the challenges is kids are still developing their social skills, their ego. So when you look at bullying, which is different than anger management or managing your emotions in a more interactive way, I actually went online to research saying, okay, what's been done on anti-bullying curriculums for the younger ages? And there was nothing. What was useful to me was to read research on what bullying is, because I doubt many of us have not been bullied, and say, okay, how can I translate what they're saying bullying is and come to my own understanding of what bullying looks like, and then translate into drama. So for my purposes, bullying is a 3-step deliberate process. I make fun of you and your name. I continue to do that, and then I make fun of your abilities. I continue to do those, and then it sort of accelerates to, I'm going to physically threaten you. In our curriculums, because they're interactive, they're not rehearsed with the kids. We just do them. They're guided through it. As the story unfolds, if I make fun of your name on the second day of our curriculum and go, nah, 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 the kids are in the story with us. They're characters. I'm like, this is great, isn't that? And the kids can go, that's not nice. We can go, well, what do you mean it's not nice? You don't mind your new name, do you? And of course, in bullying, the bullied drops back. So the question we were exploring, the central question is, what's the responsibility of a community in the face of a bully? Because in bullying, you're the one who's isolated. Everybody else is going, I'm glad she's getting it, not me. So they back off. And in our work, we're trying to engage the community to say, what are you going to do? And as it escalates, some of them speak up, some of them don't. But it gets to the point where there is a snap, and they have to decide, is it acceptable to have somebody like me behaving like me in our community? And that's why it was important to research for us, because we ourselves were struggling with what is bullying? What does bullying look like? And in our group, we're not going to bully the kids. We're going to bully our teaching artists, so that's why we sang to it.